Alright, I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. I had to hurry up and feed the boys real quick, make sure that they were taken care of, and also, change up just a little bit for today. So now I can fully focus on today's reading of One Piece. So let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reading of One Piece. Today, we are going to be going through Volume 12 of the series, titled, The Legend Begins, obviously, because that's what I got the title on for the stream. But, before we get started, I had to grab my bookmark, because I set the audio on the right level, didn't I? I always forget that. But we're fine. We're fine, and we can continue where we were before. But yeah, had to get my bookmark just in case, but I highly doubt I'm going to need to get up to do anything because it's just me here, which means that we shouldn't have any reason for me to get up for anything. So, let's go ahead and get started with Volume 12. The Legend Begins! And we have a synopsis as well, and then we can see what chapters we're going to be going through today. The Story of One Piece, Volume 12. Monkey D. Luffy started out as just a kid with a dream, and that dream was to become the greatest pirate in history. Stirred by the tales of pirate red-haired Shanks, Luffy vowed to become a pirate himself. That was before the enchanted devil fruit gave Luffy the power to stretch like rubber, at the cost of being unable to swim. Good to see you, Kohagen. Sorry I didn't say that at the beginning. At the cost of being unable to swim, a serious handicap for an aspiring sea dog. Undeterred, Luffy set out to sea and recruited some crewmates. Master Swordsman Zoro, treasure hunting thief Nami, lying sharpshooter Usopp, and Sanji the high-kicking chef. In order to make Nami smile again, Luffy challenges Arlong to a climactic battle. His ferocious attack destroys Arlong Park and frees Nami and the people of Cocoa Village. Having defeated the monstrous Arlong, Luffy and his crew set sail. Luffy is overjoyed to discover that he is known the world over as a wanted pirate with a bounty on his head. As they near the Grand Line, they stop at Rogue Town, where the pirate Gold Roger met his fate. Luffy climbs onto the execution scaffold to see Gold Roger's final view, when the beautifully transformed Alvida and Buggy the Clown appear. They capture Luffy and prepare to execute him publicly. But in the instant before what seems to be a certain death, Luffy laughs, just as Gold Roger had before he died. So the chapters we're going to be going through is, chapter 100 through 108. So yeah, we have finally entered into the 100 range. 4 chapters. Oh, it's about to be good. Chapter 100, The Legend Begins. And we get someone walking through the rain of Rogue Town, because remember, Nami said that the storm was swept through. And in that same storm, lightning struck the scaffolding before Buggy could kill Luffy, while Luffy was just smiling as he apparently was preparing to meet his end. And Luffy came out of it unscathed, while Buggy and the scaffolding pretty much were, kaput for the moment. Well, Buggy more so than the scaffolding. The scaffolding's on fire. But we cut to a storm and someone's walking in the rain with a cloak over his head. These things cannot be stopped. An inherited strength of will, one's dreams, the ebb and flow of the ages. As long as people hunger for freedom, these things will exist. And this is apparently a phrase coined by Gold Roger himself. Oh, hold on, let me read in his voice again. These things cannot be stopped. An inherited strength of will, one's dreams, the ebb and flow of the ages. As long as people hunger for freedom, these things will exist. Gold Roger, king of the pirates. And this man who has this cloak over his face with a tattoo on the left side of his face just smiles as he goes, A pirate, eh? Not a bad idea. I gotta move this off of my desk so that it doesn't chime off. Chapter 100, the legend begins. And then it cuts to Buggy, who's getting up after being, electrocuted by a bolt of lightning.
Blast that cursed no-good rubber boy!
Captain Buggy, you're alive!
Of course I'm alive!
And then it cuts to Alvida. Buggy, those men are from Navy headquarters. If an officer shows up, we're in trouble.
Huh? The Navy? I can beat them with my nose! You saying I got a big right nose?
I didn't say anything! Buggy literally just talked about his own nose and he punches someone else because he thinks someone just talked about it.
That stretchy kid can't leave this island. He probably doesn't even realize his ship's been burned to ashes. We'll beat him up and then ship out of here. Motor!
Yes, sir, Captain! And then some car parts just get thrown in the air and Buggy catches them.
My chop-chop car! We're off to the West Harbor! Yeah!
Set up the ski slope! Set up the ski slope. Yes, ma'am! No friction. Don't let those pirates escape! As Alvida jumps up on top of this long slope, she takes her shoes off, and she jumps up on top of this big long slope, and she just slides down it. Slip, slip, tracks!
Kaboom engine!
And she just starts sliding across the ground. Yeah, she just starts sliding across the ground while Buggy, with his car parts, just starts driving. What's with all this smoke? As smoke starts to envelop Alvida and Buggy and pretty much all the other pirates. What's with all the smoke?
Ah!
White out!
The smoke's got me!
Captain Smoker! I've got no time to waste on you guys. Bring me my blower bike. And it shows Smoker, and his hands and arms apparently turn into smoke. What an interesting ability. And then it cuts to other people going,
He's too strong! He has the powers of the Bloom Bloom Fruit! The Bloom Bloom Fruit!
Captain, he got the whole crew with one sweep!
Darn you, Smoker!
He captured Buggy's pirates just like that. And then she gave a new meaning to the cheapskate word. Maybe. But Buggy and everyone else has been rounded up by Smoker and his Plume Plume fruit powers. But it cuts to Smoker, and he's riding on his bike. He's riding on this, 3-tread bike, and apparently he's powering this bike by pushing smoke into it, and he's just driving through the streets. What is this lousy steel net anyway? And what was that weird weapon he used?
It's a prism bullet developed by the Navy to use against devil fruit people. Now we're just common criminals.
Just outside the West Harbor. Where'd all this rain come from? We're supposed to be burning the ship. This is bad, Richie. The ship won't burn. As it cuts to Moji, who keeps trying to light a match, but since a massive downpour is happening right now, the flame doesn't even stay up.
You lot, get away from the ship.
Huh? Who's that? And then all of a sudden, Moji slips and bangs his head on the stem post of the Mary. And it's Usopp who showed up. And Richie's surprised. And both Richie and Usopp are surprised to see Moji just take himself out.
Look! I got him! Look out! A lion! Fresh egg star! Darn! I missed!
And Usopp tries to fire at Richie, but he misses. And then Richie sees it, and he immediately starts lapping up the egg on the ground.
Now's our chance! Get on the ship!
Then it cuts to Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy. The winds come up. Those guys are persistent. Oh, it cuts to Luffy who goes, it's Zoro who says, the winds come up. Those guys sure are persistent. Want to stop and fight them? We don't have time. Nami told us to hurry back to the ship. Hey! And then Sanji sees someone in front, and then it's Tashigi as she goes, Roronoa Zoro! Master Chief Tashigi! You're Zoro! You didn't tell me you were a pirate!
You were making fun of me. I won't stand for it.
What did you do to that girl? Well, you never told me you were in the Navy.
I'm going to take Wado Ichimonji away from you.
Let's see you. And then it cuts to Zoro, who clashes with Tashigi. Go on ahead.
Okay,
as Zoro tells that to Luffy. And then Zoro and Tashigi start clashing.
He's attacking a girl!
Come on! As, Sanji feels some type of way about it, and he wants to stay behind. But Luffy just drags him on. Come on! Then it cuts back to Nami and Usopp on the Merry.
The sea's getting rougher! Where are those guys? I don't see them. I hope they're okay.
I really hope those were the correct people saying those words, because we don't even actually see Usopp and Nami. I'm just saying it is. Then it cuts to Zoro, who's basically defeated Tashigi, knocking her sword to the ground, and then pinning one of his swords into a pillar that he's got her backed up on. And then Zoro just stares at her as she looks terrified as he goes, I won't surrender this sword for anything.
Master Tashigi lost? No way.
I'm in a bit of a hurry. And then he sheaths his sword and starts walking away. And then she goes,
Why don't you kill me? Is it because I'm a woman?
And then it cuts to a flashback of when Kuina was speaking.
You're lucky you're a boy, Zoro.
A woman may not be but she goes,
a woman may not be as strong as a man, but to go easy on me is an insult. Oh, I wish I were a man. I don't carry a sword just for looks, you know.
I can't stand you!
What?
That face! You look exactly like my friend who died years ago. You even say the same things. Stop being such a copycat!
What? Stop acting like a child. The nerve! I'm not imitating anybody. I don't know what your friend was like, but I'm the one who's been wronged.
She was the one
imitating me.
Why, you dirty! And then the rest of the Marines are going like, Chief? And then it cuts to Luffy, who's staring in a direction, and he sees someone. Hey, who's that guy? Not again. And then it cuts to Smoker, who's directly in front of Luffy and company. So it's you, Straw Hat Luffy. Who are you? The name's Smoker, Captain Smoker of the Navy, and I'm not letting you get away. And then Smoker starts to surround the area in smoke, and then he grabs onto Luffy.
Ah! Huh? What the?
Darn you! And Sanji tries to kick Smoker in the head, but nothing happens, because his kick goes straight through Smoker's face. And then Smoker's face starts to form away as Sanji's kick leaves his general direction as he goes, You fiend! And Smoker says, I've got no time for small fry. White fist! And with a big, massive, smoke-covered fist, he launches it and sends Sanji flying backwards. Sanji! Why you? Come, pistol! Huh? As his punch goes straight through. His punch goes straight through Smoker, but it doesn't do anything. And then Smoker's right behind Luffy, and he puts his hand on Luffy's head. You're the one worth 30 million berries? And then Luffy finds that his legs are locked, and Smoker slams him into the ground. Face first. Looks like your luck ran out, kid. And then it cuts to Smoker as he's grabbing his weapon that's on his back. And before he can even pull it off, someone else puts his hand on the weapon and goes, Whose luck did you say? And then Smoker looks up, and he looks in utter terror as he looks up in utter shock as the person standing over him is the same dude that had the cloak at the beginning of this chapter. You! And the wind is howling behind this cloaked individual. What? Who? Mind you, Luffy can't see what's going on because his face is shoved hard into the ground. The government's after your head. The world is waiting for our answer. And then this individual goes, or at least says, wind blast. This person says, wind blast. And then all of the Marines and pretty much everyone else who was in this area gets swept up in this massive wind, including Luffy. And Luffy still can't see who this individual is. And then Zoro sees him. Luffy, run! We're gonna be trapped on the island! It's a humongous storm! Stop dragging your feet! Ah! As it shows Zoro dragging him by his face or by his ear.
What is it? What the heck is it?
So this is what Nami was talking about. And then it cuts to this individual as he goes, Go ahead, if that's your way. Why are you helping that guy, dragon? What reason would I have to get in the way of another man's voyage? And then it just shows the outside of this. So this person is called Dragon. And it just cuts to the outside of Rogue Town as this massive storm just sweeps through.
Luffy!
And this is Usopp.
Hurry! Hurry! The rope won't hold much longer!
It's pouring. Nami, I'm back! You slowpokes! Hurry up and get on board! We're casting off!
Then it cuts to Smoker back at his headquarters. We're terribly sorry, sir. We lost Bucky's pirates when that big blast of wind struck. We're going after Straw Hat. Get to the ship. What? Are we going to hunt them down? We're heading for the Grand Line.
What? Good. I'm going with you.
You too, Chief?
That Zoro won't get away with this. I'll capture him with my own hands.
But the Grand Line is outside of your jurisdiction. What will our superiors say? You don't tell me what to do. Go tell them that. To the Grand Line! And then it cuts to Buggy and his pirates.
This is an excellent opportunity. I want to get even with that darn rubber boy, too. So let's go after them. How nostalgic. The Grand Line.
And then it cuts to the Mary as it's out to sea.
Yikes! The ship's about to capsize!
There's a light. The island's lighthouse? That's the guiding light. Beyond that light is the entrance to the Grand Line. So, what's it gonna be?
Do we have to do this in the middle of a storm?
Okay, let's launch this ship onto the great ocean.
All right.
I'm going to find the All Blue. And then Sanji brings up a barrel and he slams his leg down on top of it. And then Luffy says, I'm going to be king of the pirates! And he puts his foot on it. I'm going to be the world's greatest swordsman. And then Zoro puts his foot on top of it.
I'm going to draw a map of the world.
And then Nami puts her foot on it. And then Usopp puts his foot on, saying,
I'm going to become a brave warrior of the sea!
And they all put their feet up and slam down on the barrel, screaming, Grand Line, here we come! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Chapter 100. Now it's time for SBS. Reader, Timmy, why did I say Timothy? Timmy Ueda of the SBS Takeover Gang. Please make me, Martha Shimoda, one of your cohorts. I'll do anything. First off, I'll begin the SBS. Yeah, how do you like that, Timmy? I've started it. Ah, he's done it again. Darn you, Timmy. And darn you, Timmy's new cohort. Darn! Reader, hello, Oda-sensei. Today I trained hard once more at Kendo. If I continue to practice, will I be as strong as Sanji one day? Oda, darn that, Timmy. Are you one of his cohorts too? Are you? You're not? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry you got caught up in my tirade. Let's see. Will you become as strong as Sanji if you practice hard at Kendo? Of course not. He's got nothing to do with Kendo. Oh no, I lost my cool again. Be cool. Be cool. Reader, how do you do? I like Luffy the best. I like Sanji second best. I like the way Sanji talks. Darn old man, crap geezer. Darn guys, crap heads. Darn taste, crap good. Darn tasty, crap good. He's so vulgar. Can I change Sanji's ranking? Oda, I guess it can't be helped. Right, it can't be helped. Chapter 101, Reverse Mountain. The Travails of Kobe and Helmeppo, Volume 16, hindering a hindrance to the hindrance of the artillery attack. So, remember how Kobe stood up in front to hinder them firing on Helmeppo. And then to hinder that, one of the Navy officers cuts all of Kobe's guns and utterly destroys them. Well, now we got this Garp individual who comes up and just crushes
just walks up casually and then crushes the cannon that was supposed to be aimed at Helmeppo with just one hand. He just pushes his hand on it and he just folds it. He just literally folds it, shocking everyone on the ship, including Kobe, who sees this abnormally large display of strength. I wonder how strong this Garp person is. Interesting. Oh no! Nami! The light's gone out! This is bad. The guiding light's gone! It's a lighthouse. The light goes off sometimes. But that's why you brought me along, right? Trust me, I know what to do. Wow, you're impressive. And it cuts to Luffy, who's just holding on to the figurehead. Mind you, the figurehead is outwards towards the ocean, so if he slips off, he's going under. Wow, you're impressive. Of course. Now get down, will you? No way, you're not getting my spot. Who said I wanted it? But this bothers me. According to the charts, the entrance to the Grand Line is up a mountain. And then it cuts to the inside the kitchen, as Usopp goes, a mountain? That's right. When I first looked at the chart, I didn't believe it, but look here. The guiding light was definitely pointing towards Reverse Mountain on the red line. We have to run into a mountain? No, there's a canal here.
A canal? Don't be ridiculous. Canal or no canal, a ship can't sail up a mountain.
Well, that's what the map says.
Listen,
Listen, you guys. Nami's always right when it comes to charts and navigation. But you stole that map from Buggy. Can we trust it?
We're climbing up a mountain in a ship? Yippee! Must be a mystery mountain. And, Luffy's just so happy-go-lucky with everything that's going on. I've been noticing that I haven't really been looking in the direction of where I'm facing the camera, instead so that I'm not, facing off to the side like I have been. I noticed that for a minute. I'm sorry. But Zoro continues.
Why do we have to go through an entrance anyway? Can't we just sail south and go in from anywhere?
No way! He's right. There's a good reason for it. It'd feel all wrong if we didn't go through the entrance. That's not it.
And Nami just knocks Luffy in the head.
Hey, how weird. The storm's gone all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's calm.
What? That's impossible. We're supposed to ride the storm right up to the entrance.
Ah, the weather's beautiful.
What's going on?
And then it cuts to Luffy, who's just laughing as he's looking out.
Oh no, we're in the calm belt.
Calm belt?
What's that? The storm's still raging over there, but there's not even a breeze here. Cut the small talk. Lower the sails and start rowing. We gotta get back to that storm. Aye aye, Nami. Why are you so worked up?
Row? Don't you know this is a sail ship?
Why do we have to get back to the storm?
Just do what I tell you.
But the weather's great.
Fine, I'll explain it to you. This ship is drifting south, just like you said a moment ago.
So does that mean we've entered the Grand Line?
If it were that simple, anyone could do it. The Grand Line is sandwiched between two other seas. They're the calm belts where no winds blow.
Calm, huh? So there's no wind. So what?
So this ocean is...
And then all of a sudden their ship starts shaking.
Hey, what was that? An earthquake?
We're at sea, you fool!
And as the water starts shaking, all of a sudden, numerous sea creatures pop up out of the water underneath them, including one so large that the Sunny is right on its snout. There's tons of them just popping up out of the water. And it's a massive spread panel, and everyone just screams out in utter terror. Everyone just screams out in utter terror as Sanji's scared, Usopp is almost passed out and foaming at the mouth, Zoro is shocked, Luffy,
they're huge!
It's a nest of Neptunians, big ones,
as Nami is holding on, sobbing to one of the sail posts. And then these creatures start going under the water, except for the really large one. Now listen, when these guys go under again, we roll like mad.
Got it! And then it cuts to one of them as its nose starts tickling, and then it sneezes and causes the Sunny to go flying into the air.
Ah!
And then it cuts to a frog creature in the distance.
Ah! A giant frog!
Don't get thrown overboard!
Usopp fell!
Usopp! As it looks like it's going to sail towards this frog creature, Luffy grabs onto him, and they all land back into the water again. And then they land right in the middle of a storm again. They land right in the middle of a storm. Ugh, thank goodness. Thank goodness it's just a typhoon we have to deal with. Now, do you see why we have to use the entrance?
Yeah, I get it.
They literally almost died. They literally almost died in that instance. That's it.
What is?
We really do have to sail up the mountain.
You still on that?
The sea currents. If powerful currents from all 4 seas converge at that mountain, the waters would rush up the sides through the canals, collide at the top, and flow out into the Grand Line. This ship is already riding the current, so all we have to do is steer. Reverse Mountain is a winter island, so when the sea currents collide with it, the upper waters are forced back under. If a ship misses the canal, it breaks up and is swallowed by the sea, get it? In other words, it's a mystery mountain. I guess you wouldn't understand. Nami, you're wonderful!
I've never heard of anyone sailing over a mountain before. I think I have. About a mystery mountain? No, about the Grand Line. I heard you got to be half dead before you enter it. I knew it wouldn't be easy.
There's the mystery mountain!
Wait! What's that shadow behind it? It's huge! That's the red line! The summit is lost in the clouds!
We're being sucked in! Steer carefully!
Leave it to us, goes Sanji and Usopp.
Wow.
I don't believe it.
It's true! The ocean! It's the entrance to the canal! It's true! The ocean is rushing up the mountain!
It's the entrance to the canal!
We're a little off! More to the right!
Right? You mean starboard!
Here we go.
And as it cuts to them trying to steer, Usopp and Sanji trying to steer, the rudder kind of snaps in their hands, shocking both Luffy, Sanji, Usopp, Zoro, and pretty much everyone else. The whipstaff is called a whipstaff. I don't know my boat's terminology, so please forgive me.
The whipstaff!
Goes Nami.
We're gonna crash!
And then it cuts to Zoro as he catches Luffy's hat as he goes, "Gum Gum Balloon!" And then, using his Gum Gum Balloon move, he gets in between the Merry. He gets in between the Merry to keep it from fully colliding, allowing it to bounce off and get back in the path up the mountain.
We're saved!
Luffy, grab hold!
And then Luffy shoots his arm out so he can get back to the ship. And then Zoro pulls him with all his might. And then everyone starts cheering. Usopp and Sanji start cheering, and everyone screams, "We're in! They made it! They made it!" And as they keep going, they go up in the air. They go up in the air because of all the water that's colliding. And as they're airborne, it goes to someone. It cuts to either Nami saying it as she goes, "Now we just slide down." And then as Luffy's holding on, he sees the area where they're going to be able to enter into the Grand Line. As he goes, "Oh, wow! I see it! The Grand Line!" And that is the end of Chapter 101. We got an SPS, and then we can begin Chapter 102. Question. Here's a question for Oda-sensei. Zoro, Sanji, and Nami look too young to be drinking alcohol. Should they be doing that? Answer. No. Question. I don't usually do things like this, but I just had to send this to you. Here's a challenge for you. Try saying these words 3 times. It's a tongue twister. I'm not even going to attempt to say it. I'm not even going to attempt. And Oda just says, "Oh, a tongue twister, eh? This one's easy. Ready, and..." He just butchers it. Oda-sensei, I've always wanted to ask you this. At the end of the Japanese volume, it says that photocopying without permission from the author is an infringement of copyright.
but is it okay to photocopy things like the class schedule? Please tell me. From Kobe's cheerful friend number 3. Answer. The illustrations on that page are rather complicated, but I've already gotten permission from the various parties, so it's okay. As far as the class schedule is concerned, I got word from people saying at our school we have 8 periods. Please give me a break. I'm sorry. I guess your studies must keep you very busy. And this is my lips feel kind of chapped just a little bit. My goodness. This is the reason when talking about copyright and stuff like that is the reason why I don't show images, because it's massively sketchy. Sometimes people can get away with it. Other times you will just suddenly find a strike on your channel for something that you never had a strike on your channel before. And it's like, what do I do? And it's like, oh, it's because you had your thumbnail image. It's because you had your opening image that way. Not the rest of it where it doesn't show any images, just like your logo. Your logo is copyright, and therefore we're going to put a strike on your whole channel. So it's like, huh. Okay. So that's the reason why I don't do that, because copyright is flimsy. I feel like copyright nowadays has become even more flimsy than before. Conversation for another time. Chapter 102, and now the grand line. The travails of Kobe and Helmeppo, Volume 17, Helmeppo's big decision. And it cuts to Helmeppo, who's apparently trying to stand up to his father, though his legs are shaking in the process. Because, you know, his father's massively massive. This is the world's greatest ocean! Let's go! And it cuts to the Mary going down the mountain at high speeds. And they hear something at the bottom, and then Zoro goes, "What was that? Did you hear something?" "Who cares? Let's go!"
Maybe it's the wind. There are probably lots of unusual rock formations around here.
And then they hear it again.
Hey, what's that?
"Nami, I see a mountain up ahead."
A mountain? That's not right. It should be open sea once we pass the Twin Capes.
And then Luffy keeps looking until they see that there's a giant, massive whale in the way. There's a giant, massive whale in the way as they're coming down.
It's no mountain. It's a whale!
And it's a giant whale that's right there at the entrance. Right there at the entrance as they're getting there.
What do we do? Should we fight it?
Are you nuts? We can't fight a monster like that.
But it's blocking our way!
Up close like this, it's a wall. Where are the eyes?
Oh, then it may not be aware of us yet.
But we're headed right for it. There's an opening to the left. Hard to port.
The whip staff's broken.
Do something, I'll help you.
Hey, I got an idea. What are you going to do, Luffy?
And it cuts to Luffy who runs indoors, and then it cuts to Usopp and Zoro as they hold on to what's left of the whip staff as they go, hard to port!
It's no good! We're not turning!
And then the cannon fires from the front of the Mary. And all 4 of them, Nami, Sanji, Usopp, and Zoro, just go like,
the cannon!
And then it's Luffy who fired it. Well, has the ship stopped? And then it cuts to the Mary kind of running into this massive whale. But the only thing that really happens is that they slam into it, and the figurehead of the Mary falls right beside Nami.
This is bad. Am I dead?
And then Luffy sees a figurehead fall right past the doorway he just went into and goes like,
huh? My special seed!
And then the whale starts rumbling, and it stops making sounds. It closes its mouth. Let's get out of here while we can.
What the heck? Did it even notice the cannon? Or is it just slow?
Who knows, but now's our chance.
And then the whale starts, vocalizing, and it's so loud that it hurts everyone's ears.
Ow, my ears!
Row! Just row!
Let's get away from it!
Then it cuts to Luffy,
it cuts to Luffy, who's standing right next to Nami at the front of the ship. Huh? Listen, you! That was my special seat! What did you do to it? And then Luffy stretches his arm and punches the eye of this whale. And everyone just goes, "You idiot!" And then this whale looks down at him. "It's looking at us! Come on, darn you!" And then both Usopp and Zoro kick Luffy in the back of the head. And I'm like, Luffy, you're strong, but you are not strong enough to take on this whale that is able to swallow your ship whole. You are not able to take on a whale this mountainous. Come on, darn you! Shut up, you fool! And then it cuts to the whale that opens its mouth, and the if you want to know just how big this thing is, it opens its mouth and it basically swallows the entire Mary. Ah! Luffy! As it cuts to it's Luffy who's falling off of the Mary. As they all get sucked into this whale. That's how it's so big that I actually had to look for where the Sunny was in this one panel to see where they actually were. They're just that small compared to this big whale. And Luffy screaming as the Sunny gets swept in. I'm gonna fall in! I'm not gonna die! As Luffy holds on as much as he can, then this whale just closes its mouth. And then it cuts to Luffy, who's the only one who's outside, as the rest of them... What did I call it, the Sunny, or did I say Mary? As it cuts to the Mary, I probably said Sunny, didn't I? Hold on. Yep, I called it the Sunny. My bad. The Mary gets swept in, but the Mary is still inside of the whale. Sorry, it was just instinctively I said it. But the Mary is in there, but Luffy's still on the outside on top of the whale. What do I do? They all got eaten up. Hey, you, spit them out! Give me back my friends! Spit them out! And then it cuts to Luffy, who tries to hit this whale, but he's literally doing nothing to it. Uh-oh. It's gonna dive. Hey, stop! Just a darn minute! Give me back my friends! We're all going on an adventure! I need them! And then Luffy looks, and he kind of sees a hatch on the top of this whale. Huh? And he just tilts his head to the side. Huh? And then the whale dives under. And then we get someone going, "What do you think?" It dives under, and it cuts to Zoro, who says, "Is someone just saying, what do you think?" "What do I think?" And then it cuts to Sanji, who goes, "I don't know what to think. I was sure that whale swallowed us." "Yeah, it's got to be a dream." Is this a dream? "Yeah, it's got to be a dream." As it cuts to the Mary, that's, apparently fine. Cuts to there's an eyelash. Why is there always an eyelash whenever I try to do a stream? I'm trying to do a read-through. Always messing me up. But the Mary appears to be fine, and it's in front of this small island beach house. And they're just in front of it. But what about that house on the island? Probably a hallucination. Then a giant squid pops up out of the water. What's that? A Neptunian squid! And before the squid can do anything to the Mary, it gets skewered multiple times through the face by multiple harpoons. And then both Sanji and Zoro look on, while Nami and Usopp hide in the background. "It looks like somebody lives here. I hope they're human." Where's Luffy? I hate this. I want to go home. And then it shows that from this little house, something is pulling that dead squid straight towards it. Hey, what is this? What's all this stuff doing inside of a whale? And then it cuts to someone who's walking outside of the house. "A ship, eh? Should we fire the cannon at the island?
Hold on, someone's coming out.
And that's the end of chapter 102. Onwards to chapter 103, The Whale.
It's a flower! A flower?
And then it cuts to this old man who has like a flower-shaped hairstyle and a very, very curved beard and a very curved lip on the bottom.
Oh, it's a man.
A man?
He got that Neptunian squid like it was nothing.
Did he mean to save us or was he just fishing?
And then it cuts to the man just staring them down. And then he's staring at Sanji. And then he just sits down and he doesn't say anything at all.
Say something, darn you!
And then he looks. He just looks at him. And then Usopp goes,
"You looking for a fight? We'll take you on! We've got a cannon!"
Forget it. Somebody's going to die. Oh yeah? Who would that be? Me.
Listen, you!
Now don't get all steamed up. Who are you, mister? And where the heck are we?
He thinks he can make a fool of me.
Sanji's getting fed up with the guy already.
Isn't it proper etiquette to introduce yourself before you start asking people questions?
You're right. Sorry about that.
My name is Crocus. I'm the keeper of the Twin Capes Lighthouse. I'm 71, a Gemini, and my blood type is AB. I'm gonna chop him up! Calm down. You want to know where this is? How dare you invade my personal resort and order me around like a bunch of big shots? Where do you think you are? In the belly of a mouse?
Then the whale really did swallow us. What's gonna happen to us? I don't want to be digested.
The exit's over there.
You mean we can get out? Why does the whale have an exit in its stomach? And why is there a door in the sky?
Hold on. Take a look at the sky. And the clouds. They're painted. There are pictures painted on the
There are pictures painted on the inside of the whale's stomach.
It's a hobby of mine.
What on earth are you up to?
Forget him. There's the exit. Let's get out of here.
And then there's a massive shock to the water and everyone inside, like a massive quake.
What was that?
There he goes.
Look, it's not an island. It's a ship and it's made of metal. Then this isn't water. It's stomach acid. If we stay too long, our ship will dissolve.
Then who goes, old man? Who goes, old man? What's happening? This whale is ramming the red line with its head.
What? Goes Sanji and Zoro.
Oh yeah, I saw those terrible scars, and there was something mournful about its cries.
Huh? What do you mean?
This whale is suffering.
And then it cuts to that very same whale as it's underwater and it's slamming its head into the red line.
Aha! So that's what the old man's up to. He's going to kill the whale from the inside. Let's see. What a nasty way to do him in.
Once we know the answer to this mystery, we better go. We'll lose our ship if we stay too long.
Well, I don't want to start up the whaling debate, but I feel no obligation to save this whale. Let's get out of here.
And then it cuts to Luffy, who's inside this strange metal corridor as he's getting bounced around inside the whale.
What was that? What's going on? Ah!
And then it cuts to two individuals.
Well, we've made it this far undetected, Miss Wednesday. The stomach is just on the other side of this door. The old man is probably there. We have to finish him if we want to take this whale.
Mystery Man, Mr. 9.
Right, Mr. 9. And our village needs this animal desperately.
Mystery Woman, Ms. Wednesday. Good to see you, Psycho. We are going through chapters 102 of the series. 102 of Volume 12. It's getting juicy. Hold on. 103. I knew I was wrong. In my head, I said, you're saying it wrong. We're on 103, and Luffy's inside of this strange corridor.
I'm getting dizzy. What? A dead end?
And then Luffy, still flying through this corridor, slams his face into the wall
and then into the wall of this place and then falls into another corridor.
Ugh. What now? Is it a sea? A river? Looks like a canal. Oh, it's tilting!
Hey, with all this sloshing going on, we can't reach the exit. If we don't get out of here, we could be all killed, and Luffy too. I don't think he's in the stomach. I saw him get tossed out of the whale's mouth.
Hey, the old man jumped in. What's he doing? He'll be dissolved.
And then this Crocus individual just dives into the water.
He's headed for the exit. We better get out of here too before the whale gets any crazier.
And then it cuts to the waters inside of this whale's stomach just sloshing around, and everyone is just holding on for dear life. Whoa, our only chance is to row. Come on! Gotta be careful with these pages so that they don't stick together. Then it cuts back to Mr. 9 and Miss Wednesday. Okay, Miss Wednesday, we'll open it on 3, 2, 1, baby. Ready to fight?
Roger, Mr. 9. Let's do it.
Ah! I can't stop! I can't stop!
What's that, Mr. 9?
I don't know, Miss Wednesday.
Ah!
And then these two individuals scream, and then they go sailing through this massive door, and they wind up inside of the room where the Mary is.
This isn't good, Miss Wednesday. That's a sea of stomach acid under us.
No!
Luffy?
Hey, so you're okay?
Then save me!
As all three of them land in the water. Well, land in the stomach acid, apparently.
Who are those strangers with Luffy? Hey, the old man's getting away!
Forget him. We gotta save Luffy. And then it cuts to Crocus, who's just... It cuts back to Crocus, who's just looking on, and then it cuts back to the whale, who keeps slamming its head on the red line underwater.
Stop it, Laboon. Stop hurting yourself.
Okay, so the whale's name is Laboon.
Stop hurting yourself. There isn't much tranquilizer left. I'll have to make some more soon.
And then he jabs this tranquilizer into the flesh of Laboon somehow.
That rock wall separates the world's seas. You couldn't break it if you pounded until your head turned to mush. Laboon.
And then Laboon just stopped slamming its head into the wall.
The whale calmed down. Well,
Who are you? Well, who are you guys?
Mr. 9, these people are pirates.
I know, Miss Wednesday, but surely they'll understand if I explain the situation to them.
And then it cuts to Crocus, who says,
As long as I live, you'll never harm Laboon.
"Who's the old man?"
He's back.
Oh yeah, but we're already in his stomach. There's nothing to stop us from blasting a hole right through his insides.
Oh, Beepo. Hey, bud, I absolutely loved your Demon Slayer read-through. You read along with you and things seem much more impactful. That's the whole purpose. Hey, if I'm able to make people enjoy series more or just enjoy what I do, and if you're just plain entertained by what I do, I've done my job. So seeing another person let me know that, hey, I did a good job, it just lets me know to keep going. So thank you, Beepo. Thank you.
There's nothing to stop us from blasting a hole right through his insides.
As both Ms. Wednesday and Mr. 9 shoot cannonballs in the direction of Laboon.
You can't stop us from whaling. You no good bullies.
And then Crocus eats both of these cannonball shots.
That old man took the blast for the whale.
Then, was he protecting the whale? Your efforts are for nothing.
You can't stop us. This whale's going to be food for our village.
Why is the old man?
What's going on?
And then Luffy gets up and knocks both Mr. 9 and Miss Wednesday in the back of their heads.
They had it coming.
And then it cuts to Crocus as he just looks at the Mary. Sorry.
Laboon is an island whale, a species that lives only in the West Blue. They're the biggest whales in the world. Those creeps are from a nearby village. They're after Laboon's whale meat. They could feed their whole village for 2 or 3 years on his flesh. But I won't let them do it. There's a reason he keeps pounding against the red line and crying towards Reverse Mountain. One day, when I was a lighthouse keeper, a friendly bunch of pirates came down Reverse Mountain, and behind their ship came a little whale. It was Laboon. They'd been sailing the West Blue together. Their voyage was going to be fraught with danger, so they left Laboon behind, or so they thought. Normally, island whales travel with their kind in pods, but for Laboon, those pirates were his kind. Their ship was damaged, so they stayed at the Twin Capes for several months, and I got to be good friends with them. Then on the day they left, the captain asked me if I could take care of Laboon for him for a couple of years. We're going to circumnavigate the world and return here. Laboon understood, so we waited here together. That's why he keeps banging against the cliffs and calling to the other side. But then, that was 50 years ago. He still thinks his friends are coming back.
And then it cuts to Laboon, that is up out of the water, crying towards Reverse Mountain, still waiting on his crew to come back. And that is the end of chapter 103. We got an SBS, and then we got chapter 104. Question! How often do you get fan letters? Is it weekly? If I mailed one on November 1st, would you receive it? Please let me know. Answer. In Japan, fan letters go to Shueisha Weekly Shonen Jump editorial department. Then some part-timers sort the mail by author, and my editor brings me my letters each week. So if you're lucky, I might get your letter the day it arrives in the editorial department. Normally, I get them within a week or two. Outside Japan, the mail will take longer. It does. Readers should send letters to the address below. And then, of course, it tells you a place of where to send stuff to Oda. Question. At least at the time. I don't know if Oda's still in the same place. Question. In Volume 7, you wrote that you wear the same expression as your characters when you draw them. But is that true when you draw Nami's sexy expressions too? Do you wear that expression? Answer. Why, of course. The sexiness of my expressions surpasses even those of the magazine queens, according to the town gossips. Question. Hey, Chan, this is the first time I'm writing. Giggle. This is embarrassing. I have a question for you. Buggy the clown comes apart, right? Does that go for all of his parts? Don't draw anything else until you've answered my question. Answer. Yes, that goes for all of his body parts. And that's the end of SBS. Onwards to... Hold on. That's weird. It paused the playback. Apologies. Chapter 104, Cape Promise. Colby and Helmeppo's Chronicle of Toil, Volume 18. Vice Admiral Garp's negligence. And apparently, when Garp got slashed across the chest by Captain Morgan, he was asleep. He slept through getting cut across the chest. He slept through getting cut across the chest. Let me say that again. He slept through getting cut across the chest. So when the image shows him getting cut across the chest, he was just still fast asleep at the time, and he goes, "I was sleeping." And then everyone there is just like, "You were sleeping?" But back to the inside of Laboon. This waterway is cool. And you built it inside the whale without getting killed? What made you do it? A whim?
A whim? Yes, a doctor's whim. I may not look it, but I'm a physician. I ran a clinic on the Cape years ago. I even spent a few years as a ship's doctor.
A ship's doctor? Really? Then be our ship's doctor.
Ridiculous. I'm too old to look after a bunch of reckless young fools.
So you're a doctor and you live inside a whale?
That's right. When they get this big, it's impossible to treat them from the outside. I'm opening the doors.
And then it cuts to doors opening on the side of Laboon. See, as someone who never read these chapters, or even looked at the episodes for that matter, this is new to me. After all this time, I always thought Laboon was just a normal whale. I did not notice or even pay attention to the fact that he had, like, you know, this stuff built inside of him. I did not know this. I thought Crocus was on like some, when I seen images and clips of Crocus, I thought he was just on like some outside island all on his own. I didn't know that he was living inside of Laboon this whole time. I did not know this. This is new to me. This is the benefits of reading chapters from the beginning. Wow, we're outside, a real sky.
What do we do with these two?
Throw them overboard, and then both Mr. Nine and Miss Wednesday get thrown overboard.
What is this? A sea of gastric acid?
What is this? A sea of gastric acid?
No, it's the real sea, Miss Wednesday.
It seems, Mr. Nine, that those pirates knocked us out. You were too cheapskate to pay attention? No, I didn't even... Dude, it wasn't a matter of me not knowing that Laboon and all this stuff was happening. It's just that I didn't know, period, because I never read the chapter or even watched the episodes. So I didn't know, period. It ain't got nothing to do with no cheapskate. I just didn't know. That's another benefit to reading these chapters from the very beginning again, so I know everything. Who are you guys, anyway?
Shut up! Mind your own business!
Wait, Miss Wednesday, don't forget that our business is pirates.
That's right, Mr. Nine. That's right, Mr. Nine. The organization will be very interested in them. Just you wait.
We'll meet again, you hillbilly pirates. It was a joke. I know, Cohagen, I know. We'll meet again, you hillbilly pirates.
And Crocus, one day we'll get that whale!
And then both Miss Wednesday and Mr. Nine just swim off into the distance.
Miss Wednesday, eh? A woman of mystery.
See you around, sweetheart.
What's this? They must have dropped it. Should we let them go? Won't they come after the whale again?
No matter what we do, some no-good whalers are sure to show up. So he's been waiting
50 years. And he still believes they're coming back for him? Those pirates have kept him waiting a long time.
Huh. This is the Grand Line. Those guys said they'd be back in a couple of years. It's been 50 years now. There's your answer. They're dead. He'll be waiting for them till the end of time.
And then it cuts to Usopp. Hold on, I gotta slide forward just a little bit.
How can you be so cynical? You don't know that. They could still return. It's the heartbreaking story of a whale that never lost faith in his friends.
I'm afraid reality is even crueler than fiction. Those pirates fled the Grand Line. I have it from a reliable source.
What?
And they abandoned the poor whale? I can't believe it. But to free the Grand Line, they'd have to cross the calm belt.
Precisely. That's why their fate is uncertain. But even if they are alive, they can never return here. The season, the climate, the ocean currents, even the air currents, everything about this place is unpredictable. On these seas, nothing is ever normal. Weak hearts soon succumb to fear on the Grand Line.
And then it cuts to Sanji.
And the weak of heart care more for their lives and their promises for their promises they've made, and hightailed it out of here, eh?
Then they did abandon the whale, and after 50 years, he still believes in those jerks. It's too cruel!
But why don't you tell Laboon the truth? He can understand human speech, can't he?
I told him the whole story, but he wouldn't listen.
Wouldn't listen?
Laboon, I have something to tell you. Those pirates who left you in my care have fled the Grand Line. I know they were your friends, and they made you a promise, but they're never coming back.
And this is when Crocus was much younger, when his hair was still dark. Oh, that's a bad sign if I can hear my fingers go over my lips. Hold on. Ain't no way I'm gonna read in front of y'all with chapped lips. That's disrespectful to y'all. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Hold on. Ain't no way. Much better. Good lord. Ain't no way I'm gonna do that in front of y'all. My lips all chapped, and it's distracting. Shouldn't be a problem anymore.
I know they were your friends and they made you a promise, but they're never coming back.
And then Laboon just starts crying.
Laboon! Laboon, listen to me!
They'll never, and then it just cuts to Laboon crying louder and louder and louder each time, and Crocus keeps trying to tell Laboon, but Laboon is not listening.
I know you don't want to believe it, but you have to accept it!
And then Laboon splashes him.
Please listen to me! Laboon! And that's when it began. Laboon turned towards Reverse Mountain and began to wail. Then he started ramming the red line with his head. It's as if he were convinced that any day now, the pirates would return from behind the mountain. Yeah, I tried explaining it to him many times, but he refused to face the truth. That's some whale, betrayed, yet still he believes.
But he's waiting for nothing.
Yes, he ignores what I say. He's afraid to lose his reason for waiting. After all this time, he's terrified of losing that hope.
And Luffy's just listening, digging in his nose. Nasty.
His home is the West Blue, which lies on the other side of the red line. But there's no way home from here. Those pirates he came here with were not only his friends, they were his one hope for going home. Well, you can't help but feel sorry for him. They lied to you too. Why do you still take care of him? Look at those scars on his forehead. If Laboon continues to ram the red line, he will surely die. We have an odd relationship, but we've been together for 50 years. I can't stand by and watch him die.
And then it cuts to Luffy. As it cuts to Luffy screaming, and he's running up the side of Laboon.
What's that idiot doing?
You take your eyes off of him for once.
You take your eyes off of him for 1 second, and maybe he likes mountain climbing.
Okay, I've reached the top. Is that your newest wound? And then it cuts to Luffy, who's carrying like one broken piece of the Mary. One broken piece of the Mary, and he sees like this bloody wound that's at the front of Laboon. Is that your newest wound? Gum Gum Bouquet! And then Luffy takes the mast of their ship and then rams it into the hole, into the newest wound that Laboon has on his head.
Hey, isn't that the mast of our ship?
Yeah, that's the main mast.
And then Laboon is just holding still, and then it cuts to the Mary, where the main mass of the ship is just gone. Luffy took out the entire mass and carried it up Laboon and slammed it into the newest wound he gave himself. And Laboon starts sweating because, it's extremely painful for him. And he starts waving around. Yeah, Laboon starts waving around from the fact that he just had something jabbed into the newest wound he inflicted by slamming into the red line. And he starts screaming, "What the heck are you doing?" And Crocus even sees this. Yeah, Crocus even sees this.
Don't destroy our ship!
And then Luffy's just hanging on for dear life as Laboon is just waving around in pain. And then Laboon gets angry eyes and then just slams down in front of Luffy and the crew. He's coming this way!
He's gonna ram us!
And he slams down, and then there's just a spray of blood from the point of his head.
Ah! Hey, kid!
Watch out, old man! He'll be alright, not even that whale can smash Luffy.
And then Laboon notices that he's pretty much slammed the mask deeper into his face and screams out in pain even more. Dummy! And then Laboon gets angry. And then Laboon slams Luffy with enough force to send Luffy flying into the opposite into the lighthouse. And then he starts fighting Laboon. Both Laboon and Luffy start fighting each other.
What's he up to?
Luffy, what are you trying to do? And then it cuts to Laboon, who's roaring at Luffy, and Luffy keeps getting up. It's a draw! I'm pretty strong, huh? And then Laboon stops. Our match isn't over yet. We still have to settle it. Your friends may be gone for good, but now you've got a rival. Me. After we circle the Grand Line, I'm coming back here, and we're gonna fight again! And Crocus, realizing what Luffy's doing, starts smiling. And then the whole Straw Hat crew starts smiling as well. And then Laboon, in accordance to what Luffy said, just starts, roaring and vocalizing in happiness, apparently. And it's good to see Crocus smiling. But that's the end of chapter 104. Onwards to chapter 105, Log Pose, as we take on another SBS. Question: I'm president of the International Somewhat Cool Hair Federation. Chef Zeph of the restaurant ship has cool hair color, length, and luster. All really cool. So Chef Zeph has been chosen as the 41st Somewhat Cool Hair Champion. Congratulations! Oda-sensei, may we please have your comments? Answer: well, I'm curious about the other 40 champions. Question: I've mulled this over for some time. How can Arlong wear finger rings when he's got webbed fingers? Please tell me. Answer: he sticks them right into his fingers. They're more like pierced rings than normal rings. I forgot about that. This dude does have rings on his fingers, but they're not rings. They're rings that you can just stick through your fingers, like piercings. Ow! I wonder how that feels. I wonder how that feels to stick rings through your fingers, mainly the webbed section of your fingers. How does that feel? I don't want to know. I can't stand pain. It hurts me. I don't want to know. Question. Gotcha. Hello? Is this, Mino Anta? Listen to this, huh? You're not Mino Anta? Huh? Oda-sensei. Oh, sorry. Wrong number. Click. Boop, 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 boop. Answer: it's okay. Question. Episode 1. Help, Oda baby. I think this guy named Yamada who lives next door is a fish man. I mean, he's got gills on his face, huh? Got gills on his face, huh? I feel a sudden chill. Maybe I turned the air conditioner up too high. I sense something here. Vroom. The sound of a lightsaber being activated. To be continued. Answer: I'm not saving you. Oda says, yeah, good luck with that. Chapter 105, Log Pose. Kobe and Helmeppo's Chronicle of Toil. Volume 19, Morgan Alone. And then it cuts to Laboon as he's right there, and he has a band-aid on his face, but also a crudely drawn Jolly Roger of Luffy's crew on him. Jolly Roger of the Straw Hat crew on there, but it's Luffy who drew it, so of course the drawing is terrible. Man, Rukia's drawings are better than Luffy's. Right. Okay. That mark is our contract. So don't go ramming into stuff and erasing it before we get back. And then Laboon just looks, and Crocus looks. Okay. Now then, let's plan out our voyage. Then it cuts to Sanji, who's cooking. Oh wait, that's not me who said that.
Okay then, let's plan out our voyage.
This elephant true bluefin is a cook's dream.
That darn whale! He almost wrecked our ship! Hey, give me a hand here, Zoro!
And then Zoro's just sleeping.
I'm not the ship's carpenter!
You ever get that feeling that something is just crawling on your head? I hate that feeling. And then someone screams, "Ah!" Hey, what's all the racket? Goes Luffy.
What's wrong?
No, it's Nami who screamed, "Ah!" Hey, what's all the racket? What's wrong, Nami? If it's lunch you want, I'll have it already. I have it already.
All right, time for lunch.
And then Zoro's still sleeping.
The compass. It's broken. It's spinning like crazy.
You came to the Grand Line unprepared. Well, I never. Were you planning to throw your lives away?
Food!
You can eat hay. You can eat hay.
I told you, there's nothing normal about this ocean. Your compass isn't broken.
Then what is it, a magnetic field?
Exactly. The many islands of the Grand Line are rich in minerals. The region is filled with abnormal magnetic fields. And to make matters worse, the sea and wind currents follow no clear pattern. As a mariner, you must realize how dangerous that is. If you were to set sail without knowing this, you'd surely perish. And without another way of telling direction, your journey will be hopeless.
Huh. I didn't know.
This is bad! Can you handle it?
Nami, you're still cute even when you don't know something.
What's bad?
Shut up!
Hey, the bluefin trunk is good, and Luffy's just eating.
You've got to have a log pose if you're going to sail the Grand Line.
A log pose? What's that?
It's a special compass that records magnetic fields.
You mean a weird compass?
They have an unusual shape.
Like this?
Yes, like that.
Just getting it, and Luffy holds up the log post that he got from both Mr. Nine and Miss Wednesday.
Just getting into the Grand Line is hard enough. Without a log pose, navigation is impossible.
I see, but wait a second.
Where'd you get that?
As Nami comes careening in and punches Luffy in the face. Those strange people dropped it when they left.
Those two?
Why'd you hit me?
Just cause.
Just cause. And then Nami looks at it.
So this is a log pose. It has no markings.
The many islands of the Grand Line have magnetic fields that operate according to their own peculiar laws. Therefore, you must record the magnetic field that it connects one island to another in the log pose, and then sail to the next island. On this ocean, normal navigation instruments don't work, so you have to depend on your log pose to display the magnetic fields. Using this mountain as your start point, you must pick one of the 7 magnetic fields. No matter which island you begin from, all the routes eventually become one. And the last island of them all is Raftel.
And now, mind you, it's called Raftel in the beginning. It was called Raftel in the beginning.
And the last island of them all is Raftel. It's the last island of the Grand Line. In all of history, only one group of pirates is known to have landed there for sure. The crew of the Pirate King. Raftel is the stuff of legend.
Is that where it is? The One Piece?
Perhaps. No other legends is as tempting, yet no one else has ever reached the island.
You mean until we get there, and it cuts to Luffy, who's just eating the last bit of fish off of the bone. Don't spoil? Oh, I'm not. And I'm just saying, like, this is what it's called in the beginning. And actually, it's not really a spoil, because I'm not going to say what it's called, like what it was truly called. This is just what it was called in the beginning. But I haven't spoiled anything yet. Trust me, I haven't.
All right, let's go. I'm done eating.
You ate the whole thing,
Goes Sanji.
Gosh, he even ate the bones!
A log pose, eh? I better get careful with it. The fate of our journey rests with this.
You stretchy crap jerk. I made that for Nami. I wanted her to have the best of it!
And it cuts to Sanji, who kicks Luffy in the back of the head, sending him flying. And in the process, Sanji winds up destroying the log pose that Nami has on her arm. And then after sending Luffy flying, Nami is upset and she gets up because Sanji literally just kicked Luffy into Nami and then sent him flying into. This is what happens when you don't pay attention.
You just so hung up on Nami eating your food that you wind up kicking Luffy straight through the very thing they need to sail the Grand Line accurately. And you destroy it the moment she gets it. And she just looks distraught. And she gets up and she goes, "Go soak your heads!" as she kicks both Luffy and Sanji into the ocean. Both of them. One of them needing a way to get out because he's a devil fruit user. I'm just tuning in, so we're already in the Grand Line. By the way, hey everybody. Yep, we got Crocus here talking about Raftel. And Sanji destroying Nami's log pose and her kicking both Sanji and Luffy into the ocean because they pretty much broke their only way to navigate.
Hey, wasn't that thing really, really important?
What do we do, Crocus? Our log poses.
Don't panic. Don't panic. You can have mine as thanks for helping Laboon.
Well, can you see them, Mr. Nine? I'm not sure what just happened, but I think the girl has it.
I'm not sure what happened, but I think the girl has it.
You idiot! How could you lose our precious log pose?
I'm sorry, Miss Wednesday, and without it, we can't get back home. We can't get back home.
We should have backed that whale long ago. But we don't get back. If we don't get back and explain things to the boss soon, he'll have our heads.
We have to get it back somehow. We can't afford to wait, even if we don't have any weapons.
And then it cuts to something zooming in behind Mr. Nine and Miss Wednesday.
It can't be! It's the Unluckies!
Drat, we've been gone too long. It's Mr. 13! And Miss Friday!
The mysterious otter, Mr. 13. The mysterious vulture, Ms. Friday. And again, 4Kids skipped all of this. Yes, they skipped one of the most crucial moments for One Piece. They just left out the whole concept of Laboon. And in doing so, I gotta be careful. And in doing so, they pretty much cut out another entire storyline that has such major significance for the entire story. For Luffy and the crew as well. So when they cut out these major moments, it pretty much makes every other moment that would come after it pretty redundant and kind of pointless when you think about it, because there's not enough context. So much context was left out of One Piece's 4Kids dub that you were just like watching. Didn't even feel like it was truly all put together. There were so many plot holes in that story. So many plot holes in that edit, in that dub. It's monstrous.
Wait! It wasn't our fault! Some pirates jumped us!
We'll explain everything to the boss. We didn't betray him.
And then it cuts to Mr. 13, the otter, slamming some clamps together, and in doing so lights a fuse, which is attached to a box that Miss Friday is flying over them, and they drop it on Mr. 9 and Miss Wednesday, and it just explodes. Apparently failure will not be tolerated with whoever they're working for. And they fly past, and so much more, but we will get to that part when we get there. Lord Jesus, will we ever? Will we ever? Oh, and here's one thing. When I was younger, I learned how to record VHS tapes and record episodes on TV when we had cable. When I was younger, much younger. And I recorded a series of episodes. I recorded a series of episodes for a certain section of One Piece that we're going to be getting to very soon. And I got so many memories of it. Good God. I got so many memories of it that it never leaves my mind. But the two creatures, the two agents creatures, Mr. and Mrs. creatures, they fly off after blowing up where Mr. 9 and Ms. Wednesday was. But they apparently survive and they get up out of the water. Miss Wednesday, Mr. 9, Sanji, and Luffy, and they're both right next to each other. And they all go, huh?
Allow me, Miss Wednesday.
Oh, thank you.
Hey! We have a request.
Whiskey Peak? What's that?
It's the name of our town. You lost your ship.
You lost your ship and you want us to take you home? Why should we help you? Mr. 9, you tried to kill that whale.
And who are you guys anyway?
Yo, Cedes, what's going on? We're continuing with Volume 12 of One Piece today. What's good? Everything is good, Cedes. Everything is good.
Who are you guys anyway?
I'm a king.
Oh,
Liar. We can't tell you. We just want to go home. We promised to repay you. It's not our fault. Our work requires us to be secretive. Our company's motto is mystery. That's all we can reveal. We appeal to your kindness and compassion.
don't trust them. Those two are no good.
And then it cuts to Nami going, by the way, we broke the log post you dropped. Do you still want to come with us?
What? You broke it? That log post was mine!
We got down on our knees and begged, and you're stuck here too?
Oh, but we have one that Crocus gave us.
We appeal to your kindness and compassion.
Drat, she tricked us. That minx.
It's okay. You can come with us. And Luffy's just like, yeah, they can go with us. And then it cuts to Crocus going,
It's time. The log pose should be full now. Did you use the map to set it?
Yep, it's all set. It's pointing to Whiskey Peak.
Are you sure you want to take those two, boy? Once you've chosen your course, there's no changing it.
if we don't like it, we'll just sail around again.
So you will.
Stupid pirates.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Flower Man.
Thanks for the log pose.
Good luck to you.
Goodbye, whale! And then Laboon just lets out a large cry.
Could that bunch be the pirates we've been waiting for all this time? That boy has a strange air about him. Eh, Roger?
Ah, so apparently Crocus knew Roger. Interesting. But that is the end of chapter 105. Onwards to chapter 106, but first, another SBS. To what extent can Buggy split himself up? I've been thinking about it so much that I've let my hair grow for 3 days straight. Answer: Buggy, eh? Well, I'll just say into big chunks. Too small and he'd lose control of himself. But that aside, since you've been growing your hair, why don't you enter the cool hair contest that came up earlier from the last OBS? And, question. Alright, let's start the SBS corner. Answer: yeah, I brought that up right out of the blue. Surprise? There's been a lot of postcards like that lately, and postcards like this. Question: on page 78 of volume 9, the panel shows the kanji koi and sake, love and rice wine, respectively. But you didn't mean koi as in carp and sake as in salmon, did you? I mean, you wouldn't do that, would you? By the way, what kind of fishmen are they? Answer: that's such old material, I can't remember. Anyway. And then the last question. Hello! This postcard is to Oda-sensei. Who else? Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Timmy Maiko. Does the name Timmy ring a bell? That's right, it's just Timmy Ueda. I'm Ueda's younger sister. My brother owes you for volume 10. This time, I'm writing the thank you postcard. I'm the hee-hee loving sister, and that's where I'll stop before Oda-sensei puts an end to this. After all, I am a member of the SBS hijacking gang. SBS is over! Answer: not again, why you? Timmy! 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 Chapter 106, The Town of Welcome. Kobe and Helmeppo's Chronicle of Toil, Volume 20, Helmeppo's Return. And it cuts to Helmeppo, who apparently swam all the way from his father back to the ship that he and Kobe were on, by himself. Then we get narration. As the ship sails on, the season turns to winter and sometimes spring.
It's freezing!
And then someone sneezing. The Merry Go, having set out from the Twin Capes at the foot of Reverse Mountain, heads straight for Whiskey Peak. And then it cuts to Luffy, who's making a snowman. Done! It's the man who fell from the sky, Mr. Snowman!
Your snowman is boring.
What?
Behold, my soulful masterpiece, the Snow Queen!
And Usopp, with far more creativity, far more artistic creativity than Luffy, basically creates this almost gorgeous looking statue out of snow in place of Luffy's just regular snowman.
Wow, that's great!
All right, snowman punch! And it cuts to Luffy sending one of the stakes that Luffy has on the snowman
flying into the face of Usopp's snow statue, and it destroys the head.
What are you doing?
And it cuts to Usopp, who kicks Mr. Snowman in the head.
Ah! Mr. Snowman!
And then it cuts to Nami.
How can they frolic like that? How can they frolic like that in the cold?
Nami, how long shall I keep shoveling the snow of love?
Keep going till it stops, Sanji.
Yes, milady!
And then it cuts to Mr. Nine and Miss Wednesday inside.
Hey, doesn't this ship have a heater?
Shut up, you're not guests here. Get out there and help shovel snow.
And then it cuts to Thunder outside.
Thunder? What's with this weather? It was warm and sunny a minute ago. It's just like Crocus said. The weather here defies logic.
You underestimate the Grand Line.
You've hardly been steering, is that wise? What do you mean? I just checked our course.
And then it cuts to, it's funny how we all still call Mary the Going Mary instead of the Merry Go. See, here's the thing. It's called the Merry Go in the manga and the edited dub, and it's called it's called the Merry Go in the manga and the edited episodes, and it's called the Going Merry in the uncut dubs, in the uncut episodes and what have you. But we just call it the Merry, simply because calling it the Merry Go, the Going Merry, it's just I wouldn't say it's too complicated, but just calling it the Merry is pretty much what everyone calls it. All fans call it, actually. But it's snowing outside and also thundering.
Ah! What? What is it? What happened, Nami? Impossible. Turn the ship around 180 degrees. Hurry!
180 degrees? Why are we turning back?
Did you forget something?
No, somehow the ship got turned around. We're going back the way we came. I only took my eyes off the log post for a second, and the sea was so smooth.
The sea is having its way with us.
Are you sure you're a navigator? On the Grand Line, you can't trust the wind, the sky, the waves, or even the clouds. Everything is treacherous. The only thing you can count on is the log post. Understand?
Oh, stop acting like you know everything and start helping!
And then Nami kicks both Mr. Nine and Miss Wednesday. And they're both outside.
We'll take the wind from the starboard yard brace. Turn the ship at 180 degrees to port. Usopp, watch astern. Sanji, you take the whipstaff.
Leave it to me, Nami!
Aye, aye!
She's so bossy and rude.
And then Nami is just screaming,
Shut up!
Hold it!
Hold it! The winds change!
No way! Hold it! The winds change!
No way.
The first wind of spring.
But why?
Zoro! Wake up! It's an emergency!
all this is going on and Zoro's just sleeping on the inside. Hey, I just saw dolphins jumping over there. Let's go take a look.
Shut up!
The waves are getting big.
The waves are getting bigger!
Namis, there's fog. Iceberg at 10 o'clock.
What kind of ocean is this?
And then it cuts to more snow falling onto the ship. They just different types of weather phenomena keep happening one after the other. One after the other. And it's so unpredictable that they can't adapt quick enough.
We scraped the iceberg.
We're taking on water in the bilge.
We're taking on water in the bilge.
You have to stop the leak!
You have to stop the leak.
Right!
The clouds are moving fast. Lower the sails. The wind's too strong.
Eat, you guys!
Eat, you guys. Keep out your strength.
Right! You're eating too much!
Oh no, the sail's gonna rip!
And they're eating rice balls wrapped in seaweed, a popular snack in Japan. I never had rice balls before. I want to try them someday. I want to try a lot of Japanese cuisine. I really want to. It's been years since I had sushi. It's been so long since I had sushi. Oh, I miss it. I miss sushi. Really good sushi. I miss it.
Hey, there's another leak in the bilge. Darn it.
Nami, what does the log post say now?
We're off course again.
What? And then it cuts to the ship being suddenly calm. And then Zoro finally wakes up. Wow, what a peaceful nap.
Huh?
And then everyone is just laid out tired from this man slept through all of these storms. This man just slept through it all.
Hey, I know it's a beautiful day, but shouldn't you guys be working? I hope we're sailing in the right direction.
And then everyone wants to kill Zoro. Everyone is just thinking, why you? And then Sanji's just looking down.
What are you two doing here?
Where have you been? Because Zoro doesn't know that Ms. Wednesday and Mr. Nine are sailing with them because he's been asleep ever since they left. Ever since they left. Still haven't had sushi, had raw oysters though. I had what is it? I had fried oysters, but I never had raw oysters. But I feel like it's been possibly over 10 years. No, yeah, it's definitely been over 10 years since I last had sushi. It's been a while. 1 lump or 2, Zoro?
I'll take 3. I am a triple swordsman after all.
And then it cuts to Luffy going, we're sailing to their town.
You're not taking them home, are you? We don't owe them anything.
Yo, Raw, good to see you. No, we sure don't.
We don't owe them anything.
No, we sure don't.
You two look like you're up to something. What did you say your names were?
I'm Mr. Nine.
And I'm Miss Wednesday.
That's right. They've been stuck in my head. Seems like I heard them somewhere before. Or maybe not.
And then Nami just comes in and just bashes Zoro over the head because, it was 20 questions going, whatever. Ow! How long would it take to watch One Piece from start to finish? That's not an answer I can give you because One Piece has not ended. I can't give you a solid answer as to how long will it take you to read from start to finish because the series isn't finished. So that's a question I simply cannot answer. If you mean to the most current chapter, it'll still take you a hot minute. It took me a while to write here to where. Oh wait, so you mean where I am right now? We're only like 100. We're only like 100 and so chapters in. We're only at 106 chapters. It shouldn't take you long. I'm only taking this long because I'm doing 1 volume per day. So it's taking me longer. But if it's a person, it should take you about a couple of hours, maybe over that. It's probably going to take you over a couple of hours, especially if since I'm reading it. When you're reading stuff in your head, you don't never get the words wrong. But when you're reading it out loud for an audience, there tends to be some flubs. I honestly can't tell you how long it'll take you because people read at different speeds, so it's different from person to person. Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
That's right. They've been stuck in my head. Seems like I heard them somewhere before. Or maybe not. Whatever.
And then Nami bashes him in his skull.
How could you sleep through everything? We tried waking you, but you wouldn't wake up!
What?
And then... there it is! Okay, so I've seen this image of Zoro on the internet before, and whenever I look at it, it's the funniest sight. So, when Nami gets so mad at him that who said that? Ozzy, you did say 1 lump or 2. He's got 3 lumps. He's got 3 lumps. He's got 3 lumps. But there's an image of Zoro where Nami's hit him in the back of his head, but his face after having those knots put on his head, it's hit so hard that his face is all like, ugh, but it's drawn in the anime style, and every single time I see Zoro's face, it just tickles me. Hold on. Let me find it. There it is. Hold on. Let me get it. Let me get the I can't take it seriously. Hold on. Let me show you.
Hold on. Let me get it. Window, image. Where is it? I know I saved it. No! Really? It's gonna be one of those. I just saved this image. I just saved it. Why would it do this to me? I just saved the image of Zoro getting hit in the head. I need to show you this face. I need to show you the face. Yeah, you know the one where his eyes are popping out the back of his head? Yes. I need to get it though. I can't take it seriously. I need the actual image. Where's the image? Come on, please save the image. Let it be normal. If I make the extension a JPEG. Yeah! There you are. There it is. That's the face. just look at it. See, this is the face I mean. I can't look at it. I can't. I gotta stop. We need to continue. Every time. I gotta stop looking at it. Stop. I gotta stop. I need to stop. We need to get back to it. We're not even done. What's worse is that the same image is in my book. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm sorry. I'm done. I found what I needed to find. Let's move on.
Stay alert, people. Who knows what will happen next?
I can't look at Zoro. I can't look at him. I gotta move past this.
I
am so sorry. This probably ruined someone's immersion. I'm supposed to be going from chapter to chapter, but I keep... That just messed me up.
Stay alert, people. Who knows what will happen next? I know now how dangerous this ocean is, and I know how the Grand Line got its reputation. My navigation skills are useless here.
Sure you'll be okay?
Goes Usopp.
Of course, something good will happen, and there's proof. Look! The first leg of our journey is over.
And then they sail towards an island that has like a ton of giant cacti on it.
It's an island of giant cactuses. It's Whiskey Peak. Thank goodness we arrived safely. Well, we'll be taking our leave now. Thanks for the ride, darlings. We'll see you again, fate willing.
That's Nami's version of lovely lady lumps. I don't want to see that image of Zoro again because I'm just going to keep laughing at it. If I ever need to brighten my day, I could just look at that image. Just dropped in to say hi, back to study, 10 days left. Good luck on your tests and your exams, Raw. And remember, take breaks when you need to, don't push yourself too hard, and everything should turn out just fine. Keep being diligent, but also remember to rest. You take care.
We'll see you again, fate willing. Bye-bye, baby.
And then they backflip into the air, and then they just take off towards the water, towards Whiskey Peak.
Huh?
They're gone. Who were
Who were those guys?
Forget 'em! Let's land! There's a river up ahead. It looks like we have to sail inland.
Just don't turn up like Zoro from all that studying, got it?
I hope there aren't monsters and stuff.
That's a definite possibility. This is the Grand Line.
If there are, we'll just run away. Hold it. Don't forget, we can't leave right away. How come? We have to record the island's magnetic field with the log pose before we can move to the next island. The time it takes to log on each island varies. Some islands may take only a few hours, but others could take days.
You mean, if this island is full of monsters, we might have to stick around for days?
That's right. Well, we'll worry about that when the time comes. Let's go! We'll have to sail up the river because it's there. It looks that way.
Luffy's right. There's no use sitting around. Let's go.
I'll protect you, Nami.
Hey guys, I think I'm coming down with better not visit this island fever.
Okay, we're going in. Don't forget, be ready to run or fight.
No, wait, this island.
And then as they're sailing in closer and closer, we get people going, "Hey, isn't that a pirate ship?"
What? It is.
I hear people talking, but I can't see them through the mist.
People? Did you say people?
Alert the town! Pirates! Pirates are here!
Welcome to the town of celebration, Whiskey Peak.
Pirates! Welcome to our town!
Welcome to the Grand Line.
Huh?
They're not monsters. They're welcoming us.
What's going on?
Goes Usopp and Sanji, respectively. Hooray for the heroes of the sea! And then it cuts to a lot of women who are cheering, and Sanji's just like, there are lots of cute girls here, too!
What a welcome! What a welcome! Pirates are heroes to these people!
And then Usopp is just, enjoying himself, and, Luffy's just kind of enjoying himself as well. Me. Welcome. My name is Igarappoi, mayor of Whiskey Peak. My name is Igarappoi. No doubt this all comes as a surprise to you. This is Whiskey Peak, a bustling town of ale brewing and music. We pride ourselves on our hospitality. We're proud of our ale and have an ocean of it. We'd love to hear the tales of your adventures. Would you be so kind as to join, a celebration in your honor?
Mister, you're curled. You've curled your hair way too much because this Igarappoi has his hair just in like Victorian England wig type curls. Is just massive. His hair is just massive. About the only person I know with hair that big is Weird Al. Weird Al Yankovic. That's about the only one I know who has hair that massive. But not to the extent of this Igarappoi dude.
You bet we would!
Those idiots. Say, how long will it take to log this island?
Log? Please set aside such trivial matters. Rest from your travels. All right, everyone. Prepare for the festivities. Let us pay tribute to the adventurers.
Huh?
'Cause something doesn't seem right here. Let's celebrate! And we get narration.
And the sun goes down on Whiskey Peak
as we have Mr. 13 and Ms. Friday watching over Whiskey Peaks. The same two creatures that tried to kill both Mr. 9 and Miss Wednesday. They're here as well. And that's the end of chapter 106. Time for 107, and I believe we have one more chapter after this, and then we're done with volume 12 for today. Chapter 107, Moonlight and Tombstones.
The moon rises over the revelry at Whiskey Peak.
I honestly feel like I probably won't have another massive laughing fit like that since we're past that Zoro chapter. I'm pretty sure I'll be square for the rest of my read-throughs when we go back on Monday. So rest assured, I probably won't have another fit like that again.
The moon rises over the revelry at Whiskey Peak.
And so then I said in a very cool way, "Hey, you sea monsters, get your flippers off my friends!"
And then it cuts to the girls who go like,
Captain Usopp is so cool!
I must admit, our great escape from the comville had me shaking with delight.
and then all the rest of the people are just listening to Usopp tell these tall tales, and they're cheering. Then it cuts to Zoro, who's trying to outdrink this one dude, and he burps after drinking a whole mug of beer, apparently, of ale, apparently. I give up. Wow, amazing! He drank 10 men under the table. Then it cuts to Nami, who outdrinks even more people. Wow, she outdrank 12! She sure can hold her own. And then it cuts to Luffy, who's just constantly eating. He's eating as much as Goku. There's literally towers of plates around him. Give me more!
Ugh, the captain over there's eating enough food for 20 people. For 20! No more.
The cook's down! He's eaten so much food that he's out eaten the chef cooking all the food. And then it cuts to Sanji, who's just surrounded by women. This one's flirting with 20. This one's flirting with 20 girls at once. Who are these people anyway? And Sanji just can't get enough of this situation. This certainly has been an enjoyable evening. I'm so pleased you're having fun. Indeed. And he says it really weirdly. Then it cuts to the outside while everyone is... Then it cuts to the outside where all the laughing is going as he goes, I'm so pleased you're having fun. Indeed. I truly am. Then it cuts to another location where Mr. Nine and Ms. Wednesday are. Our efforts to procure food for our town failed. However, to restore our honor, we succeeded in inducing this group to come to Cactus Island. That's what we'll report. And that's that, baby. Done. I hope that puts us back in the boss's good graces. Yes, let's hurry and put the report in the Unlucky's mailbox. They'll deliver it to the boss. For us. And then we see this mailbox outside of the building where Mr. Nine and Miss Wednesday are. And on it is a Jolly Roger of 2 sabers going through with some wings underneath with the words Baroque across it. Wonder who Baroque or what Baroque is. Then it cuts to Zoro, who's steadily drinking. No, I can't take any more. Whoa, he gave up after besting 13 people. Then it cuts to Nami, who's currently trying to outdrink a nun. The girl's on hers 15th, and her opponent's the sister. So, firstly, what is a nun doing drinking? Me saying a nun is trying to outdrink Nami, that sentence doesn't even make sense. We've all seen nuns. Sure, there are a couple of peculiar cases. There are a couple of, some special cases for some nuns. But the most nuns we know, they stay away from anything like that. Can she really call herself a sister if she's trying to drink another person under the table? I'm just saying. The girl's on her 15th and her opponent's the sister. Hey, Zoro, what a wimp. Isn't it time you stopped too? The sister says as she's currently trying to outdrink Nami. I've had it. Get in another bite. And then everyone's laughing at the fact that Luffy has actually stuffed himself. She's a happy drunk. He's gone through 3 cooks. And Nami is just so drunk that she's just happy drunk. She's just laughing constantly. Think of Kaminari whenever he overuses his quirk in My Hero Academia. That's currently where Nami's at right now. I feel great. She's down.
What a great town.
This is paradise. Then it cuts to someone going, they're all passed out. They're all passed out cold. Sweet dreams, brave adventurers. And it's Igaropoi who's saying this. They're all passed out cold. Sweet dreams, brave adventurers. Tonight, the cactus rocks seem to dance so beautifully in the moonlight. Typo, Twisted Sister.
And then it cuts to someone going, "You're a poet. You're a poet, Mr. 8.
Oh, it's you two.
How are they?"
They've all fallen into the abyss.
Igor Rotboy, aka Mr. 8. And then we cut to someone going, "Oh my. They sure can put away the booze and the food, and I was only drinking carbonated barley tea. But was a celebration really necessary for 5 scrawny kids? Miss Monday." And then this nun takes her wig off. And it's like a dark-skinned nun lady who just walks up to them. "We should have finished them at the port. As it is, there's a food shortage, and no whale meat is heading this way." The sister, aka Ms. Monday. "Don't say that." "Yeah, we did our best."
Calm down. Take a look at this. I did some checking up on them.
What the 30 million berries?
Only a fool judges a pirate by his appearance, Miss Bunbay. Me, Miss Monday.
"Those guys are... I'm so ashamed." And Miss Monday is also a very tall and muscular lady, too. Think of her as a brick woman, kinda.
Oh well, I've taken care of them. We can still make a favorable report to the boss. Take everything of face value from their ship and tie them up immediately. If we have to kill them, their value drops by 30%. The government wants to execute them publicly.
And then someone sits up, still conscious, despite everything that's going on. Oh, the juiciness. Someone sits up on the roof of the building where they're all next to and goes,
"Sorry, but would you let them sleep a while longer? They're tired from the voyage."
"Mr. 8, Miss Monday, one of them got..."
"Mr. 8, Miss Monday, one of them got away!"
But you were passed out." A true swordsman never drinks himself into a stupor.
Wow, that's interesting. So that means that no matter how much Zoro drinks, he'll never intentionally drink himself drunk, because you never know when you're going to need to be sober. He'll drink enough for him to, like, hey, this is pretty good stuff, but never to the point where it causes him to be inebriated. Because an inebriated swordsman is one that doesn't remain a swordsman for very long. Interesting. I never knew that about Zoro. I thought he was just like I knew he loved sake and I knew he loved drink. But it never dawned on me that maybe he drinks it in moderation so that his skills never get dulled from it. I never thought of it. This is why I'm reading through this series through again, because now I'm looking at all these characters differently. Like, even these subtle, small details, now it's all like, oh, so Zoro's even greater than I thought he was before.
And a den of bounty hunters can be a dangerous place. You trick pirates into celebrating their passage on the Grand Line. Looks to be about 100 bounty hunters. I'll take you on, Baroque Works.
Yo! And everyone is shocked.
"Why, you? How do you know the name of our secret society?"
Everyone is shocked to know that Zoro knows exactly who they are.
Long ago, when I was in your line of work, your organization tried to recruit me. Naturally, I turned you down. There's total secrecy within your ranks. You even use code names. And of course, the identity of the boss and his whereabouts are a mystery to everyone. Your Baroque Works, a bunch of crooks who loyally obey him. Was that a secret?
"This is unexpected, but if you know about our organization, you must die. One more tombstone to adorn the cactus rocks."
And then we cut to the cactuses and come to find out that the little spikes that are sticking out... I didn't know this either. It turns out that the spines that are sticking out of the cactus on the entire island are not actual spines. They're all tombstones. I didn't know this.
"Kill him!"
And then Zoro's just gone. Huh?
"He's gone! Where did he go?"
And then Zoro's just standing there in the midst of everyone. And they're all surprised to see him just standing in the midst. This dude just appeared in the midst of them like Zabuza from Naruto. He just appeared right in between all of them. And they're shocked to see him.
So, you want to fight?
Why, you? Don't take us for fools! Fire! And they try to fire, but Zoro's not in the midst of them. And a lot of people get hit because Zoro's not there. You idiots! He disappeared again! He's quick!
Hurry up and kill him! He's only one swordsman!
And then it cuts to Zoro, who's right behind Mr. 8, and stabs and jabs his sword directly next to his face from behind. He's literally got his back. He's literally got his back against Igarappoi and is stabbing his sword straight through the hair. Dangerously close to Igarappoi's face.
But wouldn't you prefer a dozen new tombstones?
There he is! Stop, you idiots! You'll shoot me as well! Don't do it! And then it cuts to Mr. 8 playing his saxophone, and he winds up opening fire on the same people who were aiming at him. But Zoro's not in the line of fire. Then the wind howls.
Whew. Was that a shotgun? You could hurt somebody with that. You can hurt someone with that.
And then it cuts to Mr. 9 as he says, "It appears we'll have to be careful with them." And that is the end of chapter 107. Onwards to chapter 108, 100 Bounty Hunters. Kobe and Helmeppo's Chronicle of Toil, Volume 21, begging forgiveness. As it cuts to those same Marines that Kobe and Helmeppo were on, those same Marines on the ship that Garp visited, they're all bowing and kneeling before Garp. Well, mainly it's just Helmeppo and Kobe who are kneeling, but the other Marines are bowing their heads in front of Garp. Chapter 108, 100 Bounty Hunters. And this is the last chapter for Volume 12, and then I'll call it a session, eat some lunch, and then prepare for Tears of the Kingdom again at around maybe 4. Where did the swordsman disappear to? Does he really think he can take us all on? Does he really think he can take us on alone? He knows about Baroque works, and yet he showed his hand. Then it cuts to everyone who's just out cold inside of the tavern. Usopp's knocked out. Luffy's just basically dead weight. Serious dead weight, packed with food. Nami and Sanji are knocked out completely as well.
This is the perfect chance to test my new swords. I'll give them a good workout.
I mean, he ain't wrong. And then it cuts to a man who's preparing to fire on Zoro. And he's just above him as he goes, "There you are." And then Zoro sees him and dodges out of the way just in time. He dodges backwards through a building just in the nick of time to avoid getting gunned down. Ha! He's in the house! And then everyone starts pointing their guns through every opening in this house towards Zoro. And he just dives out of the way and props up a table to avoid getting shot.
First, it's Yubashiri,
meaning running snow in Japan. That's one of his swords that he's got.
First, it's Yubashiri.
And then Zoro slashes through the sword, and he's already outside, and he slashes through numerous people, but they're looking like, huh? Did we even get hit? Because he's just past them. And then he goes,
"Good sword, nice and light."
Then the dudes that shot him and he sliced through, they all instantly suffer the cuts. It's like you get cut, you don't know what's happening until that person sheaths their sword, and then when you hear that ding, then the wounds just open up. Anatomy-wise and descriptive-wise, how does that work? Because we see it all the time in different types of animes and video games. Does it go off of the sound of the sword closing? Like it's as if it's waiting on that specific. I'm probably overthinking this, but think about it. When people get cut in an anime and they don't see the cut and nothing happens to them, I bet you anything that the thought that comes in mind is like, oh, the cut is only going to open up when a certain frequency is heard, i.e., the sound of a person closing their sword, and you just hear the ching, and from that frequency, it causes the wound to open up. Yes, I am overthinking this, and it's probably not that complicated, but I always wondered how that worked. Cutting someone, they don't even feel it, and then when you choose, or when the moment's right, or when the moment is perfect, then the wound opens up, and then everyone feels it.
I think about this way too much. I really do. But he uses Yubashiri, and he cuts through all the dudes. They don't feel it for a second. He says, good sword, nice and light. And then the wounds open up on all of these individuals. There he is! They found me. He's heading for the roof! And then as he gets up the roof, someone's holding like a literal bazooka as he goes, welcome! And Zoro leans backwards and dodges out of the way. Duh, that was close.
Ha! You're finished.
Huh? And then it cuts to Ms. Monday as she holds up a barrel and she throws it at Zoro. Ms. Monday! And then Zoro sees it.
Never mind that. Kill him!
And as they're bearing down on him, Zoro cuts through the barrel that's coming his way, and it splits in a way where all the pieces miss him, but all 4 pieces hit all 4 individuals who are trying to kill him. So he doesn't even pay attention to the people trying to kill him. He just slices through the barrel so that the pieces fly past him and hit the individuals trying to get him. That's some Jiren level positioning when you think about it. Darn, what a waste. All that good brew.
Why you?
And then it cuts to an individual behind Zoro with a big old massive mallet, and Zoro slices through the stone itself. What? It sliced through that stone mallet? And Zoro's even surprised that he sliced through stone. Kitetsu the Third has a great edge, but a legendary sword should only cut when its master wants it to. This one's a problem child. So here's the thing. Zoro didn't even intend to cut through that stone. But Kitetsu, given its caliber, cuts through it despite Zoro not aiming for it. And he seems like, that's an issue if it's cutting when I don't want it to cut. Interesting. Then it cuts to a kid who's holding up a knife, and Zoro flips it out of his hand with the tip of his sword. Huh?
Oh, please, have mercy on us. Have mercy.
And then it cuts to Zoro, who's looking as this nurse holds up a cross, and it's a secret gun as she goes,
Bless you. Gesundheit. Gazoon hit.
And she tries to hit. It's not even a gun. It's just a cross that has like smoke in it to obscure Zoro. But he's behind them going, use that sorry trick on someone with a kinder heart. And both the kid and the nun get downed. Now use the back of the sword. Forgive me.
He's heading for the roof again! Fool, trap him!
So he took down both the kid and nun, but he used the back of his swords so that they're just knocked unconscious. He has his boundaries of what he's willing to put his blade against. And then everyone is laughing as they keep going after Zoro.
You've got nowhere to run!
And then Zoro's just right there. As they're climbing up this big, long ladder towards the roof, he's just smiling as he tosses with all his strength the ladder off of the roof and sending people falling off of these multi-layered roofs trying to come after him.
Huh? The ladder's falling!
And then, while one ladder's falling, he uses it as a stepping stone to jump off and goes to another direction.
Huh? He's jumping this way!
Zoro's having himself a good old time right now. Shoot him! And Zoro's airborne. And he sees the individuals on another roof waiting for him, and he goes, Hawk, wave! And a massive wave from his sword shoots out, and it causes him to sweep under all the people who are trying to aim for him. And then someone screams out as he looks up, and he goes, huh? And, he looks up as people are screaming, and he drags his sword across the ground. Like, he drags his sword across the ground in a circle, like he makes a circle around him, and then he walks away from it because there are 3 people trying to jump on him, and he just walks away because he basically made a pitfall underneath where he was standing. Mind you, he didn't have to put his sword very deeply into this roof. He just dragged it in a circle around him while he's looking up at the dudes who were trying to, looking at the people that were trying to jump him, and he goes, look out for the hole I made. And they all just fall through without even touching him. Then Miss Monday pops up with holding one of these ladders, and she intends to hit Zoro with this ladder, and he twitches, and he just dodges out of the way, seeing the ladder almost hit him. And then Zoro goes, hey, watch it! You nicked me!
And then Miss Monday puts on some brass knuckles, grabs Zoro by the face as she goes, "Superhuman brass knuckles!" And Zoro can't move as Miss Monday punches Zoro directly in the face. Now, to give you a bit of a rough idea as to how forceful she punched him in the face, the ground underneath them cracked. Just big, long cracks. That's how forceful the blow was. What a waste. Me of time. And then it cuts to Miss Monday, whose head is being held up by Zoro, and he's squeezing her head. Mind you, Miss Monday is so much taller than Zoro, so much bigger than Zoro, and yet Zoro's got her head in a vice grip, and she's screaming out in pain, and everyone's going, "Miss Monday!" What?
You think you're strong? Want to see who's stronger?
And just to show you how much Zoro is flexing on Miss Monday, he has her head in a vice grip. She's trying to get his arm off of her, but he's not budging. She's even grabbing the back of his head, trying to, pull him off, and she's using all of her strength for it. But he's grabbing her head. He's got her down on one knee, and he keeps squeezing harder and harder and harder until he lets go, and Miss Monday just falls unconscious, foaming at the mouth. No way! Miss Monday lost the battle of strength? Impossible! It can't be!
Shall we keep going, Baroque Works? I like to finish what I start.
And then it cuts to Igarappoi, Mr. 8. It's all clear to me now. The Navy got the wanted poster wrong. I can see how this guy could be worth 30 million berries. He must be the real captain. Very well. Then let's fight him like he is one, shall we? They really think that Zoro is the one with the 30 million bounty, even though it's Luffy with it. It seems weird that a good-natured kid like him would be worth 30 million. It seemed weird that a good-natured kid like him would be worth 30 million. And then it cuts to Luffy, who's just steadily sleeping. Hey, any more of that meat left? To be continued in One Piece Volume 13. We are done, ladies and gentlemen, of Volume 12 of One Piece. Apologies for it seeming just a little bit off at the beginning, but we are done with the Straw Hat crew has entered into the Grand Line, and now they're dealing with Baroque Works, and things are going to take a major turn later on. I mean, I already know of the story going forward, but reading it chapter to chapter, it just opens my eyes to what I thought I knew of seeing these episodes and everything else. It's just like an eye-opener. I'm glad I'm doing this refresher on One Piece until I fully catch up so I can have the whole series on the channel. So to everyone here, as I bring this to a close, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I enjoy your company, and I really do enjoy entertaining you. But now it's time for lunch. Time to eat some leftover jambalaya. But overall, we will return on Monday to continue with One Piece Volume 13. Now, I put this in my community post, and I want to let everyone know. There's going to be another episode of One Piece tonight where the episodes continue. It's not going to be a recap. The episodes will continue. But this upcoming Sunday, normally I would have my streams set up. Is Logtown already over? Yes, we are now at Cactus Island where Baroque Works is fighting Zoro, Karma. That's where we are. But I put this in my community post. This upcoming Sunday, tomorrow even, I'm going to be going out to eat with my band, my church's band and the choir, which we haven't done in years. And I'm going to be eating with them directly after church. Directly after. We already got reservations. So, my reactions for One Piece, My Hero Academia, and Jujutsu Kaisen will occur once I get back home from eating out. So if you guys still want to see that, I'll just have that up then. But I'm just letting you know that I won't have my reactions up, just waiting, because I don't know when I'm going to get back home. But I will do those reactions for the newest chapters when I get back home. You guys will know because you'll get the notification that the stream is being set up and, ready for you guys to just come by. But I'm letting you guys know, don't expect a stream like at a 1 or anything like that. It might be 3 or whatever. I don't know what time we're going to be done. But I'm just letting you all know that's what's going to be happening tomorrow. And then afterwards, it's just going to be the regular stuff throughout the week. But thank you, everyone. There's such an immense feeling of fulfillment and satisfaction and accomplishment whenever I get up front of a camera and I'm just doing all of this for all of you guys. I never get tired of this. I always have energy for this. It's like, I don't need to take a break because this isn't tiring for me. So it's just like, I look forward to this, and I just want to say thank you for giving me that opportunity. All I can say to everyone here at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. You know what? Hold on. Before I go, I might actually take a break from Tears of the Kingdom today as well. We'll continue Tears of the Kingdom on Monday. Yeah. So that way I don't feel like I got to rush through eating and then try and stream the rest of the hour. So no, we're going to continue. We're going to continue One Piece on Monday, and we're going to continue Tears of the Kingdom on Monday. Today, I'm going to take a break for me. Yeah, I'm going to take a break for me. So all I can say to everyone here at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, share this stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier, and because I am aiming for 100,000 subscribers. And maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!